peeps, welcome back to Project Anonymous, and in today's Craftmas episode,
we're going to do a freestanding lace project.
So let's get to it. So Dad, what is a freestanding lace project?
Well, basically, freestanding lace is just your embroidered pattern or object onto a wash-away stabilizer, so that when you wash the stabilizer away, it's basically just your embroidery project that kind of looks like a lace, right? So there's just a pattern of lace that you can kind of customize the size or space in between stitches to kind of get kind of a lacy type project.
So today we're going to be making an ornament out of our freestanding lace, and there's some specific things you need to do when you're making this design, so we'll go over that when we're doing it.
So you ready to get to it?
Yeah, let's go.
We will be designing our project in Inkscape, and first we will change our document properties to a 4x4 hoop size. Now I'll use the circle tool to create a snowman shape. I'm going to select all my shapes and go to Path Union to combine all my circles. To stay organized, I'll rename my layer. I'm duplicating the layer to have another snowman shape, and I'll rename it. The 100 and 500 are just so I know what angle I want the stitches to be for each shape. I'm continuing to create layers that I can go back into to create what I need for each step. Now I'm creating my snowman's buttons with the circle tool. I'm selecting the buttons so I can copy and paste them. Now I need to select my buttons and the snowman shape so I can create a hole in the snowman. I'll do that by going to Path and Exclusion. I'm moving a snowman base without the holes to my stroke layer. Now I'm copying and pasting my snowman shape with the holes and moving it to my base 100 layer. I will go to the params of my base 50 layer to edit my settings to make this have a lace look. I'm first changing the angle of my stitches to 50 degrees. Next I can increase my space between stitches to 0.6. And I'll also get rid of the underlay and underpath. Make sure to press apply and quit to save the settings. Now I'm going to the params for my base 100 layer. I'll do all the same settings except for making the angle of stitches 100 degrees. To change the fill color, I'm just selecting another color, and I'm just changing the color for visualization. I also turned on my node snapping tool just so I can get the layers to be lined up. I'm selecting all my buttons and right-clicking on them to move to my buttons layer. I just want the outline of the button, so I'll press X to get rid of the fill and hold down Shift and a color to give it a stroke. My stroke is very small, so I have to go to the stroke styles to increase its size. And I'll move them to place. And now I'll turn them into a satin stitch. Now I'm going to create the snowman's face. I'm going to create the nose with the Bezier tool. Now I'm going to go to my stroke border layer. And now I'm going to give this object an outline. I'll do that by holding Shift and selecting a color. And again, I have to increase my stroke size. And now it's visible. And now to make this an ornament, I'm going to create a loop at the top, and I'll just keep the outline on. And I'm just organizing all my layers to make sure everything's in its place. Finally, I'll turn the strokes into satin stitches. And I'm going to go to my simulator so I can see what it will look like stitched out. All that's left to do is save my design.
So here are the materials I'm using besides my thread and my bobbin. So it's actually a very simple amount of materials. You just need some of this wash and gone stabilizer. Basically it's where you can take it off with water. And that's like one of the essential items you need. And then we're also using a thread color and a bobbin color, which try to make the same colors so it's not like a weird mixture of colors. And then I just have my 4x4 hoop here. And I transferred my design to my USB stick. So I'm going to go ahead and get the right amount of stabilizer. Okay, so I got my stabilizer. Put it down. You want to make sure you hoop this tight enough. Okay, so I'm at my machine and we're using the Brother SE1900 to embroider this. And I got my USB stick so I can go ahead and plug it in. So here's my design and I've already threaded the white thread. So now I can go ahead and put this in my machine. Embroidery. So you can see I used a bunch of different colors while digitizing that, and that was just so I can like visualize which each layer is, but I'm actually going to be using white the whole entire time. Okay, so it finished embroidering. I think it turned out actually pretty neat. And the cool thing about this stabilizer is when you dip it in water, the excess goes away. And when I'm dipping it, I think I'm going to try to leave a little bit of stabilizer on because I've heard it gives it a little bit better results so it's not like crumpling. I think I might cut some of the excess off so I'm not like dipping this whole thing in it. Kind of peel it off. So it's almost completely dry. It's still a little bit wet, but I noticed I forgot to cut the jump stitches, which I probably should have done earlier before I took it off the stabilizer. But I think it should be okay. Try to make sure I don't ruin the project right now. So here's two freestanding lace projects that I've made. This one's my first one, and then this one's my second one. The main difference between the two is the spacing between the stitches, which is one good way to customize it. And it kind of depends on your liking which way you like better, if you want the stitches closer or farther, but this is a good way to customize your project. So I think it turned out pretty neat for our second freestanding lace project. The only thing I'd recommend is maybe making like parts of your lace that you want shown more prominent, like these buttons. Maybe make the face like holes too, just so it pops a little bit more.
Sure. Otherwise, I think it'd make a great addition to the Craftmas tree.
Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it if you liked it.
Like it.
Subscribe if you enjoy our content.
Subscribe.
And turn on those notifications so you're reminded every single time we post a video. Stay crafty.
And be merry.
Bye.